Oh, really? Oh, okay, cool. Hey, Coach, how you doing? Good to see you, man.
Congrats, Dave.
Thank you for you guys were helping them out. Shot.
You got it. You got it.
Kind of tough one last time. Baseball's not community, so we played in UCLA. They went over there and everybody was there. It's schedule I can talk about.
GCL. Really pushing it along. That's where that
he was immediately alerted, like this can't be true. Right? He was like,
I say that. Larry, how are you, man? Good to see you. I don't know where she's at. We had a girl pass out. They had a good exchange.
Corey, how are you doing, man? Doing well. Good seeing you.
I know it's
Yeah, I think you could still do it. Good seeing you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Oh, there we go. I'm Corey Costello, Assistant Athletic Director for Communications, and voice of Roadrunner Baseball as well. So, kind of excited to be here today with this opportunity and what we're doing and why this hire is so important. I want to give you a little brief history of CSU Baseball because coming up, the 2018 season is going to be the 10th season of Roadrunner Baseball, which took the field for the first time in 2009. And really in a short amount of time, we built a pretty good history because in that season, they became the first team, the first upstart team to defeat the defending national champions when they defeated Fresno State 4-3 on April 9th of that year. Fresno State won the 2008 national championship. They go on the following season in 2010 to defeat the likes of perennial power South Carolina in Columbia nonetheless, which very few teams in the SEC managed to do. And that set really the table for a historic program. In 2011, the Roadrunners posted a 33-22 record as an NCAA independent. They were in the mix for the at-large berth. I remember watching the selection show that Memorial Day, and we were the first team out that year not to get a bid. So then in 2013, we flirted with the regionals again, this time as an affiliate member of the Western Athletic Conference, winning the regular season championship in a very Texas-heavy WAC at the time. But the Lone Star State would kind of do us in the conference tournament, losing a pool play championship game thanks to a lightning delay, and we lost 1-0 the next day to eventual champ UT San Antonio. And then 2 years later, Destiny finally came calling. Just 7 years after its inception, the Runners won the WAC tournament and went to the UCLA Regional, where they took down 2014 Omaha participant Ole Miss for the first NCAA postseason victory. So at the time, and continue to be, the Runners the youngest team in NCAA Division I baseball to start a program and reach the NCAA Regionals in 7 seasons. That still is a record. So while tradition was built quickly, sort of finding the right leader to continue that tradition and help rebuild that promise is why we're here today. And the leader we will announce today did just that, rebounding a team from a tough season a year ago to a 32-24 mark this past year and a berth in the WAC Championship Series. Our short successful tradition is at a crossroads, and today's announcement is the next step in continuing the journey in the right direction, and all ball clubs need the right leader. As the famous baseball philosopher and beloved late announcer Joe Garagiola once said, baseball is drama with an endless run and ever-changing cast. Well, we now believe we have the right leader of that cast, and to do the formal introduction of that leader, please welcome our Director of Athletics, Ziggy Siegfried.
All right, thank you, Corey. Good afternoon to everyone. This looks like a fantastic crowd. And on behalf of our President, Dr. Horace Mitchell, it's my pleasure to welcome you today to the Accardo Room on this very historic day for CSU baseball. You know, and I'll tell you, it's kind of fun to see as I look out to who came today. You know, we see people from the local baseball community. We see people coming in from Taft. We see parents, student athletes, and it's just great to see all of these individuals. As I'm sure the coach will say here shortly, it'll definitely take everyone to continue to build our excellence. So I'd like to start by recognizing a few people today. First off, I mentioned once before, but our President, Dr. Horace Mitchell. Our Vice President for Student Affairs, and for whom athletics reports to, Dr. Thomas Wallace. And I know I saw this individual come in, but our Vice President for University Advancement, Executive Director of the CSU Foundation, Victor Martin. I'd also like to recognize our search committee who spent a lot of hours and time with this recent baseball search. First, our chair, Mark Mace, who I believe has only missed 1 baseball game since our baseball program started. We also have Dina Freeman-Patton, our Deputy Athletics Director, who is not with us today. And our faculty athletics rep, Dr. Roy Lefevre. I'd also like to thank someone who's been in the trenches on many things in the athletics department, but one of his major roles is the sports supervisor for baseball, and that's Marcus Brown, Association. So in December of this past year, we made the decision to move in a different direction with the leadership of our baseball program. And that's when we decided to name Jeremy Beard as the interim, I was about to say athletics director, it's still stuck in my mind, as the interim head baseball coach. And upon a successful search, upon a successful year, we conducted a national search for our baseball position. And I can tell you we had a significant amount of interest from Division I head coaches, Power 5, NCAA assistant coaches, and we actually also had coaches in professional baseball, including Major League Baseball. And what I want to tell you is a little bit about the criteria for the search. We sought out to find a leader who would excel in motivating student athletes to excel in all aspects of life. The top priority was to find a candidate who would place an emphasis, and you hear Dr. Mitchell say this all the time, and I can promise you we're committed to this, in the student portion of student athlete, a commitment to academic excellence. Next, it was critical to have someone who placed a high emphasis on the student athlete well-being. We had to know that this individual cared about our student athletes. The third criteria was to find someone that would compete at the highest level of Division I baseball, building on the young but rich tradition of CSU baseball. Finally, we were looking for someone that would be committed to the city of Bakersfield and Kern County. There is no doubt that the selected candidate, I guess there is pun intended, hit a home run when not only sharing his vision in these 4 areas, but also putting it into action as the interim head coach the last several months. With all that said, the candidate that has been selected to our baseball program, to lead our baseball program, removing the interim tag, is head baseball coach at CSU Bakersfield, Jeremy Beard.
And what a great showing. I'm very grateful and appreciative that everyone showed up here today. And extremely grateful that Ziggy looked my way for this position. It's been an exciting year for us as a baseball program. I couldn't be more proud to be here. Marcus Brown, who's my direct supervisor, just so thankful he's been there all year long and helping us through every little situation of the series, of the season, and all the way up until that last series. They were at the game with Dr. Lefevre, who I'm also very grateful for. He's been a big part of our baseball program as of late, and showing up and just playing catch and being around. And Dr. Wallace, who I spent some time with, speaking with recently, and being a guy that's very supportive of athletics, sharing our vision together. And I felt that went over very well as it relates to the school and the institution's overall outlook as it relates to students. And Dr. Mitchell, who came out to some ball games this year that meant a lot, for him to be out and be supportive as he's been, is just incredibly, it's neat and unique to see a president come out and be the person that he was this year for us and supportive. This is a really special day in a lot of ways, and it's really a service position. This is about our student athletes, our young men, and serving these guys and helping them, mold them for later things in life. And that truly is our overall main objective as a baseball program. And it's been a heck of a journey getting here to Bakersfield, and through these experiences, and you're dealing with all types of students and athletes to get to this point, you learn a lot of lessons as a coach, and you quickly start to realize that they're the real teachers. They're the ones that give us as coaches the honor and the privilege to show up every day and want to do our jobs better, and to serve them is it's a blessing. There's no question. I'd like to thank God for putting us in this position as staff and the athletic department, and having the opportunity to be a part of this experience this past year. It wasn't always easy. I reflect on the 2017 crew, and I couldn't be more grateful and proud of a group of young men that overachieved in so many ways, on and off the field, socially, academically, and athletically. We had a bunch of relentless young men that they did more, and they did things. I wouldn't be standing here right now if it wasn't for their effort and what they decided to do as a group of young men, which is come together and create a synergy level, which is when the sum of each part is greater than the whole. And they bought into that every single day. They did everything that I asked them to do, and as what we did as a coaching staff. I can't tell you how special that group is. And when I hear Corey talking about the tradition of our previous teams and what we've already accomplished as a baseball program, I have to believe that this crew of young men needs to be right there at the top as far as one of the greatest teams in CSUB history. And it has nothing to do with wins and losses. It has everything to do with who they were as young men and what they brought to the table. Extremely selfless and motivated to be something bigger than themselves. It was about team. And the most special moment for me all season long was that last game. when we lost in the WAC championship. We had just put everything on the line. We lost our opener in a game we wish we could have back. We had to relentlessly come back, and we won 2 on a doubleheader, and then we came back and we won our next day. And I looked in the dugout right before we started that championship game, and I'm looking at a bunch of young men that they had the look of, they were tired, they were down, they were trying everything they could do. They would never admit that, by the way, but you could see it as their skipper. So we did everything we could do to try and motivate them and get them going. And when we lost that last game, in a very, very well played baseball game, the most magic moment for me is at the end of that game, watching down in left field, seeing these young men who had just put everything on the line, and the energy and the feeling they had. There wasn't a dry eye in sight. These guys truly loved each other, and they truly bought into everything. And for me to be a part of that is the biggest blessing. I'm so grateful, and it exemplifies what we want to continue building here in this program. It's not something special, something bigger than the come out and they're playing out, and I go, it's 105. I'm in the shade. They're out there playing. They don't even bat an eye around here. And that's the exact reason why I want to recruit locally first. I want to try and get these kids to keep them home. I want to get the guys around here. I want to keep them from leaving and going to bigger and better things in their own mind at this point. But until we build something special here, facility-wise, and doing just a little bit more than where we're at right now, which you're always trying to build, and we're not complaining. We like what we have. But there is something to be said for, giving them, providing a facility and providing a program that they're really proud of and they're excited to be a part of from the time they're a young age. But it's going to take a lot of people. It's going to take a group of people in this area that wants to roll up their sleeves and get ready to roll. And I'm ready to be the leader of that, be a guy that can help coordinate that and serve the community. This is a community hire. This is something that I think we can really make a difference in our area. And I can't be more blessed and more proud to be here and stand before you today and call myself the true head coach. I'm excited to make my first home visit and not say yes, I'm the interim. And it's cost us a few times, but we'll catch up. We'll be just fine. But to say I'm the head coach at Cal State Bakersfield, it's just a huge honor. And this is a family hire. My wife and 2 sons right here that who've been through a lot, and this is a heck of a road stop for us. And I'd actually like to introduce them quickly. My wife Annie, who has been through. My son Logan, 14. A lot of you already know Wyatt's 12. He's Again, I want to thank you for taking the opportunity to be here today, and I would like to thank the administration for taking a chance on a kid from Northwest, the walk-on at his college, and always kind of been doubted in a few different ways, and you gave me an opportunity and our coaching staff an opportunity to carry this thing and move on in the next direction. I'm truly, truly grateful and feel very blessed. And I'd like to also introduce Jonathan Johnson, who's one of our assistant coaches who retired from Jonathan was a tough hire. He called him in late December after I'd spoken with Ziggy, and I thought, boy, I better come up with a coaching staff that can help us make a difference. And when you have a big league at bat the previous year and the end of spring training, you're trying to talk to a guy on the other line that's getting ready to prepare himself for his next adventure in professional baseball. And after a week back and forth, and he decides to join our staff, that's a pretty special deal. And we're very fortunate to have him. And Shelby, his wife, who's pregnant. Seen her around a lot of different games and things as well. So we already have a really unique quality family that we're building here within our staff, and we're excited to take the next step. I really need to thank my mentors, coaches, and everybody that I've been a part of, their staff, or guys that took a chance on me as well, that let me be a part of their staff. And we're always a product of our environment and the people that we surround ourselves around. And I feel really blessed to have been around some very quality coaches and mentors. And I could name a lot of guys, but I don't want to leave anybody out, so we'll just call all of us there. So again, I feel like I'm missing something. I don't write scripts. I just shoot from the hip and speak from the heart, and that's what I'm doing today. And I'm very grateful to be a part of this Bakersfield community. I look forward to helping us all collectively build something very special. Thank you for having me.
I'll say this, Coach, it's unfortunate that you actually wear a uniform in the dugout, because I'd love to have that jacket in the dugout, but it is what it is. All right, folks, thanks so much for joining us. Media, if you'd like to talk with Coach Beard or anybody else, one-on-ones, we'll be able to do those up front. And what are we, how many days from the next season? February, right? So, I don't know, do your math. You got some work to do, right? Got some work to do. All right. Thank you guys for coming, and we will talk to you shortly. Thank you.